Hey, it's Jenna. Recently divorced and kind of figuring out this new way of life. I was married for 23 years and with that person for 3 years prior. So for a total of 26 years of my life, I have been out of the game of dating, making friends, going out, and stuff like that as a single woman in her 40s. Yeah, I'm 47. So I've raised children. My children are adult children now, and it's kind of interesting because it's so lonely at this stage in life after divorce, especially with older children, because you make all your friends when they're younger, or at least I did. I met my friends mostly through my kids' activities. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I took them to practices. I went to school, all that stuff. During my marriage, my weight went up and down. My looks fluctuated depending on health needs or what mental state I was in because of the abuse I was dealing with. And also just having children and being exhausted, literally doing everything. So as your children get older and as you go through changes in life like divorce or anything like that, your looks will tend to change. Mine have obviously changed a little bit. Actually, a lot. I have an autoimmune disease, so I did not have control over my weight for many years. And once they got my medications under control, and then I got out of my toxic environment, and honestly, I find refuge in the gym. I live in the gym. I have always been an athlete. I have always loved to work out. So this is not anything new. Nothing is going to change in like 6 months. When I'm healed, I will always be a gym rat. But it's interesting because I found that, with this new day and age, I've kind of gotten into TikToks and all that stuff, and social media. I'm a photographer. Like, that's part of my job. I'm a visual communications major back in the day. Everything I do is visual. And so this was like something I could grasp to, I could feel, I could see, touch, all that stuff. I've said a million times how I don't connect online, just through text and all that stuff. So it's interesting to me, some things, and I wanted to bring everybody's attention that I have recently come across and heard a ton. I have had so many people message, comment. I've even had people in my personal life say, you look expensive, or, you're really pretty, so you probably, I don't understand why you would complain about that. Like pretty girls can't have problems, or pretty girls can't feel sad about anything. Lots of girls get this. The guy just wants to get that girl's attention. Someone they've seen on social media for whatever reason. She's a girl in their town they know. She has the looks that she wants. Whatever the reason is. But they really don't want anything with that girl. They just want the ego boost, the attention for that moment and all that stuff. And then they move on. And so I've had this happen several times, and I've said to my girlfriends in close confidence, and I'm like, I don't understand, I don't get it. What am I doing wrong? And they're like, you're not doing anything. They knew immediately that you were out of their league. They just wanted you to be the toy. They wanted to, get you and play with this shiny toy that they thought was so pretty, or they thought had all these attributes that they wanted, but they knew they couldn't keep you because they couldn't, you're out of their league. This past year has been the hardest of my life, and this next season of the holiday season, I just triggered myself. It's going to be really, really hard. I could be on the ground right now. I'm not going to cry, because I wanted to kill myself last year. I was in parental alienation through a separation in South Carolina separation law that my ex used everything he could to hurt me. And the holiday season was the epitome of hell because I was a stay-at-home mom and I was the magic of every holiday. I stayed in a marriage for 23 years and built up a family and my ex's career and everything, and we literally just got to where it was supposed to be everything we dreamed of. Owned a company, making almost $1 million, and that was my breaking point, and I left it all. And I'm not a person that is about money. I've kind of been in mourning of the oh my gosh, I gave it all up. Everything was around my family. So when I chose to leave, I gave it all up. All up.
I had no clue that the worst was yet to come in the 1 year of separation. And so it's weird because I find that I just thought today for a split second, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I thought, I should have just stayed. I should have stayed. It wasn't that bad. Like, you made it 23 years. You made 26 years total. Your kids are like college and one's almost out of high school. Like, you made it. You made it. Like, it didn't matter at this point. They can do their own separate life and all that. You made it to the point where you guys were making so much money and you had big houses and you could do whatever you want and you can relax. And I literally just called my friend. I was like freaking out because like I'm the biggest person that keeps me back. Like, I'm terrified. I don't have 401k. My counsel did not have my back. I was so traumatized when I got out and then terrorized for the next year that I couldn't even think straight to help the people that wanted to help me, and the people I entrusted to help me didn't help me. And there's just timelines that you can't stop, and so it is what it is. And you know, I'm 47 years old. It's not like I'm 25. I'm healthy, kinda. I have an autoimmune disease, which means it's life-threatening for the rest of my life. You know, things can change, but it's not like I'm an invalid and can't do anything for myself. But it is terrifying. Like, I could have stayed. I'm so mad that I think this way. I could have stayed. My life would have been so much easier. I could have just gone and done whatever I wanted. Kind of. I mean, I say that, and then I think as I say that, I'm like, but you couldn't. It's like so weird that my brain thinks that way. And I called my girlfriend and I told her, it's like, I probably should have just stayed. I should have just stayed. It wasn't that bad. And she just started, she's like, Jenna, what are you talking about? Like, literally. And then I just keep thinking, I'm like, but I had a huge house and all my bills were paid for and I never had to think how they were going to get paid. My grass was cut, well, not the last year of separation. But you know what I mean? All the basic things to keep the image up. And I gave up my entire image that I was trained to have for my family for 23 years. Like, I was the stay-at-home mom and I made the image of we were the perfect family. I have beautiful children. They were dressed right. They, you know, did top sports like cheer and football and went to all that stuff. And I was, you know, the cheer mom and, you know, did all that stuff and then did photography on the side just to make money, to make ends meet while he built his career up. And I stayed long enough to just give it all up when it was like right there. And I'm so mad at myself because I'm not this way. I don't think this way. But it is hard to be a single female when you're 47, when your kids are out. It's not like I have little kids. I always say, if I had little kids, this would be not even a question. Because that instinct comes in. I have to, my kids, you know, I got little kids. I got to get them up for school. I got to get them to here. I got to get them to there. I got to go to work. I got to do that. I don't have that. I'm literally at home. The worst time of my day is after the gym at night when the house is quiet and silent and I just am in my thoughts. And it's so hard. Like, I'm my own boss. If I don't go to work, if I get sick, nothing happens. And my Jenna Murphy photography would just crumble. And I love what I do. I have a passion for it. I love it. But I'm in my head. Like, I'm literally in my head. And I'm booking shoots and I'm doing amazing. I'm so excited. But every time I think future and long run, I freak out. Because my future was right there. Like, it was solidified. Like, I was comfortable for the rest of my life. Maybe not mentally in my relationship, but financially, I was fine. And I gave it all up to be happy. Maybe I should have just stayed. It was like stable in every other area but that. Like, is my mental health really that important? And then my friends remind me, they're like, yes, like you're just in that crazy in-between stage. And I'm trying to work through it. I'm trying to work through the process. But it's terrifying. It's terrifying to start over at 47. But it's hard to know you gave away. My ex will probably never make less than $1 million every year. And I'm starting over. And basically as if I'm a 20-year-old again. And it just doesn't seem fair.